Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Hope everybody had a good summer. We are fortunate enough today to have a guest come talk to us for about 4 or 5 minutes about the American Chemical Society Student Affiliates. This is the president of the ACS Student Affiliates this year. I will let her introduce herself. You all will have maybe a couple minutes for a question or two, and then that's about it, because we got a lot of stuff to get to today. But I hope you all do consider going to one of the ACS Student Affiliates meetings. It will count as one of your activities assignments that you've seen in the syllabus. So you can attend one of these meetings and count it as one of your activities for the semester. Marina?
Hey everyone, can everyone hear me? Good? Okay, awesome. So I'm Marina Gopalova. Like Dr. Masterson said, I'm the president of ACS Student Affiliates. ACS stands for American Chemical Society Student Affiliates here at USM. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what it is that we do and how we can really help you in your career as a chemistry and biochemistry student. So ACS, our main goal is to create opportunities, community, and in general just support students in chemistry and biochemistry, and also people who are on pre-med and pre-professional tracks. You can meet plenty of people who are in chemistry and biochemistry who have taken the same classes that you're taking, who kind of know what you have in store for you, and who can really help you make the decisions that are right for you as you're continuing through your career, as you're trying to plan, what you want to do for a living. Something that I didn't really know when I was a freshman in chemistry is how many great things that you can do in chemistry. When I was a freshman, I thought that the only option was research, but that's not true. You can go into industry, you can go into pharmacy, and even just within research, there's organic, there's inorganic, there's environmental, there's catalysis, there's synthesis, there's electrochemistry. There's so many different types of chemistry that you can get involved in. And we have people doing research in all of those in ACS. So through ACS, you're able to meet people who have all sorts of different types of experiences, and that way you can kind of start figuring out how you fit into your discipline while getting to know people who can help you do that, right? Something that we help a lot with is we have a lot of professional opportunities as well. So last year we hosted a LinkedIn workshop, and we also did a free headshot day so students could come and get their headshots professionally taken, which is really important for your CVs and other professional opportunities. This semester we plan on hosting information sessions, especially for how to get involved in research labs. So in case you guys don't know, most of the chemistry faculty here on campus have research labs, and you as an undergraduate student can work in those research labs. And this is a really, really great opportunity to receive mentorship from a graduate student or from a professor. It's a great way to, apply the concepts that you're learning in class in your teaching labs directly. And in general, it helps you out so much, not just as a student, but also just as a person and as a developing chemist, because you also, through being in a research lab, you may get the opportunity to have a publication, right? To have your research published, to attend conferences, and this is all really, really important when it comes to, developing as a chemist. We also, something that we're hoping to do is provide you guys with a lot more information on summer research opportunities, which I was just talking to Dr. Masterson about. In case you don't know, the National Science Foundation has research experiences for undergraduate students, where it's usually an 8 to 10 week program, and you can go to a number of different institutions, a whole number of different institutions all over the nation, and you can do research all summer. It's great. I just did one. Hey, I can confirm, it's awesome. And this not only is a great way, if you're thinking about going to graduate school. Anyone here thinking about going to graduate school? Show of hands. Okay, awesome. So this is a great way to prepare for graduate school because you have a research project, and for the most part, while you do get some mentorship, you are responsible for conducting that research, right? You're on a full schedule, and this research project is your own to develop, to get data for, and then to analyze your data. Typically at the end of the summer, you also do a presentation, maybe at a conference or maybe just at the institution, but this really gives you an idea of what your life will look like in grad school and what to expect. So if that's something that you're thinking about, I cannot recommend that to you enough. And this is a really great opportunity that ACS can help you with, right? So we can help you with your application package, we can help with personal statements, we can help you, develop your CV, right? We can help with all these types of things. And we can also help you find the REU that, you want to do, right? So like I said, there's so many different types of research you can do in chemistry, and those REUs typically span all those different kinds of research, right? We can help you really find the environment and the institution that would be best suited to what you're interested in. And we can help provide you with support in our own experiences, because many of us have done these summer opportunities, and we can help you not only prepare, but we can also help you know what to expect if you, get accepted and decide to go. We also, one of our biggest things, especially last year, we have a lot of service opportunities. So Dr. Donahue, which is the advisor for ACS, he also teaches organic here, so you'll probably meet him very soon. He has something called his STEM on the Go initiative. So last year, something that we did a lot of is we reached hundreds of students in the local Hattiesburg area, and also in, Petal and Laurel, etc. Basically, we went to K through 12 programs in schools, and we did chemistry demonstrations, right? So we told them about bonding, we taught them about structure. They were given interactive kits that they could assemble molecules with in class, and then we also, some of our student volunteers made 3D printed model kits with magnets, so that students could learn how to put, how bonding works, how we can put these molecules together. And not only is this a great way to get service hours if you're in something like Lucky Day, but it also is really, first of all, important to give back to your community in general. Second of all, it's a great way to introduce chemistry to students at a young age in a way that isn't stigmatized, because I'm sure if you haven't experienced this already, chemistry in general is stigmatized as being a difficult major. So a lot of people don't really give themselves a chance with chemistry. They just think, oh, this is really difficult, I'll never get it. And so they kind of shoot themselves in the foot before they ever give themselves a chance to try. So this is a really great way to introduce chemistry to students at a young age and teach them that chemistry is for everyone, right? Nobody is, not smart enough for chemistry, and that they too can pursue a career in science if they so choose, right? And we do this not only through the STEM on the Go initiative, but also in general. We might be doing a STEM demo in Vicksburg later on in the semester, so we need volunteers for that if that's something that you're interested in. But yeah, in general, ACS is a really, really great way to get involved. It's a great way to help your community. It's a great way to help yourself. So yeah, this is the GroupMe QR code if you're interested in that. This is our Instagram, so you can see the work that we've done if you want further information. And this is my contact info here on the bottom if you have any questions. So yeah, thank you.
All right, well, thanks, Marina. When is the first ACS Student Affiliates meeting? Have you scheduled that yet?
It will be sometime in the first week of September.
Week of September.
Yes,
Okay.
so we will be posting flyers, and we'll also send out more detailed information through the GroupMe, which is why it would be great for you guys to join.
All right, perfect. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's give her a round of applause.
Y'all have a great semester.
Thanks. All right, folks, just to let everybody know, I do record my lectures, so this is all being recorded, and it'll be available on my YouTube channel after class, so look out for that, and I'll share that with you later. Let's see, I'm looking for my, there it is. I forgot my clicker, so I'm not going to be able to walk around a whole lot today. I'll stay kind of close by. So, this is Chemistry 108. This is the first day, obviously. Glad you're all are here. This is the foundations of the chemistry and biochemistry majors. We're going to talk a little bit about the syllabus today. I'm going to get you acquainted with some of the materials in Canvas. That'll be pretty much so it for today. We'll have some discussions. This class is not, quote unquote, a killer class. This is a class that's here to help prepare you to be a major, to help you throughout your journey, at least for the next 4 years, and to let you know what kind of resources that we have, and introduce you to me, and let me give me an opportunity to get to know each and every one of you. So we're going to do some quick introductions. I'm Dr. Doug Masterson. I'm an organic chemist by training. I've got a research lab down the hall. But I spend most of my time as the Senior Associate Provost. So as you all saw on the tour that I gave you on Canvas, my office, I do have an office here, but I'm never here. Okay, so I'm over in the International Building. So if you're ever over that way, you want to stop in and say hello, please do so. I do have an open door policy. So you would go to Suite 517. I'm in Office 519. I may have said that backwards in the tour. You can always reach me at douglas.masterson@usm.edu. I typically look through my emails most of the day, but after 9 p.m., chances are you won't get a response from me. So keep that in mind. You can certainly call my office phone, 64714. And if you want to make an appointment with me, the easiest way to do that is to contact my office director, Mr. Mike Buckley, at m.buckley@usm.edu. So that's the easiest way to get in touch with me. And so with that in mind, I want each and every one of you to tell me your name and which major you are. And just, we've got to be real kind of quick with it because we only got an hour today. We'll start right here.
My name is Nuna. I double major in biochemistry and psychology.
Oh, okay, double major. All right, great.
My name is Rennie Shiera, but I typically go by Sunshine, and I'm a biochemistry major.
Okay,
Timothy Stewart, and I'm a biochemistry major.
okay,
Gavin Davis, and I'm a biochem major.
okay,
I'm Stevie Jordan, and I'm a biochem major too.
okay.
I'm Kaylee Payne, and I'm a biochem major.
Yeah, there's a theme coming.
Isabella Akelin, and I'm just a chem major.
Ah, there we go. Good chem major. Yeah, nothing wrong with
My
biochemistry.
name is Imogen Red, and I'm also just a chem major.
Oh, that's good.
My name is Bob, and I'm a biochemistry major.
Okay, great.
My name is Retro, I'm a biochem major.
What was your name? I'm sorry.
Retro, REC.
Okay, Retro.
My name's Kelby, I'm a biochem major.
Okay.
My name's Hannah, I'm a biochem major.
My name is Tiara, I'm a biochemistry major.
I'm Mackenzie, I'm just a chem major.
Just a chem major. Oh, you're a chem major. That's good.
I'm Luke, I'm a biochemistry major.
Okay.
I'm Sydney, I'm a biochemistry major.
I'm Trent, I'm a biochemistry major.
I'm Charlotte, I'm a chemistry major.
All right.
I'm Addie, I'm a chemistry and French major.
Oh, another double major.
I'm Pratyush and I'm majoring in biochemistry.
Biochemistry.
I'm Caitlin, I'm a biochemistry major.
Okay.
I'm Grace, and I'm a chemistry ACS certified major.
Did you say Grace?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Christopher, and I'm a biochem major.
My name is Jasanti, and I'm a biochem major.
Okay.
My name is Mari, and I'm a biochem major.
Okay. So, just a quick show of hands. How many of you are thinking about medical school? Okay. That's about what we normally see. Any of you dental? Okay. Pharmacy? A couple pharmacists. Okay, good. And then I saw the hands go up when she asked about any of you thinking about graduate school, so I won't ask that again. But I hope by the end of this class you realize exactly what Marina was talking about, that you can go to professional schools for sure. You can also get a job, and during this 4 years, your life might change in a way that your goals change. And I want you to know that you're in a major that's very flexible towards that. So you are in a major that does have job opportunities, that has postgraduate opportunities, and has professional school opportunities, all kind of wrapped up in one. In fact, we've even had people go on to law school, and we've had people start their own businesses. There's a whole 9 yards. The whole 9 yards. You can do all kinds of things with a chemistry major. So, glad to meet every one of you. I have to confess one of my pitfalls. I am horrible with names. I will remember all of your faces. Do not be offended if I have to ask you what your name is again. I'm just bad at it. Okay? But I typically have lunch every day at 11 o'clock. Sometimes I'll be over in the Fresh Food Company. If you're over there at that time, feel free to come by and introduce yourself, whatever the case may be. I'm always happy to meet with students, but I may say, you're in my Chemistry 108 class, but I've forgotten your name. So I apologize for that. It's just one of my little quirks. Let's talk a little bit about the syllabus. You all saw the syllabus in Canvas, right? I don't print that out. It's all there for you. You can get it in the syllabus module, or you can get it in the syllabus on the side of there's 2 places to get it. The course description directly from the bulletin. You've probably read this. This is an introduction to higher education for students in chemistry and biochemistry, including the use of university resources for academic success, resume development, and career strategies. Okay? This is not that class that is going to be really difficult for you, except that it will require some time. Okay, this isn't something that you can just come once a week and forget about. They're going to have some assignments to do. You're going to have some reflections to write. You're going to have to develop some products that you're going to take with you. And those products I want you to take with you as the start of your career. You really need to think about today as being the start of whatever career it is that you want. Today is the start of that, okay? Actually, Monday was probably the start of that, right? But as far as I'm concerned, it starts today. I do have a mission for this course, and that is we're going to explain the rationale behind the structure of the major. You are in a highly structured major. It is one of the things that is different between the sciences and the humanities. And I have lots of friends in the humanities. There's nothing wrong with being a humanities major. Some of you have double majors, right? But what you will find is that we are very tiered. You take these courses before you take those courses. You take those courses before another. You have to bring in some math. Whereas if you're in one of the humanities majors, you may take a small set of core requirements and then it's choose, right? You will have some choices in this major, and we'll talk about those choices. But our major is more organized in a good way than many other majors. You have some things that you got to do. And so I'm going to tell you why that is. You're going to learn why that is. I want you to understand why we've created the major the way that we have and why it's there to support you. So you're going to learn that, okay? And we're going to explore together, we're going to explore your individual motivations, your why. Why are you in this major? Why is it that you've chosen this major? And I hope most of you come out at the end of the semester understanding that better for yourselves and understanding what chemistry is going to be able to do for you in terms of your future. And for each and every one of you, that's going to look different. No two people in here are the same, and that's a great thing, right? And so to help facilitate that, we will have one-on-one meetings. There will be a time during the semester where you're required to make an appointment with me outside of class, something that works for both of us, and we're going to get together for about 15-20 minutes, and we're going to talk with one another about what your goals are in life, what it is that you want to do, how I can be here to help you, how this major can be here to help you. We're going to get to know one another a little bit, and that's different than many classes. Okay, that's what's special about this kind of class. So I'm kind of excited to get to learn about the variety of things you all want to do. So there are some course objectives. You're going to understand the impact of the chemical sciences on modern society. Chemistry is what most people would call an old discipline, but it is so relevant in modern society. You look at everything from, I don't know, let's just pick one, life expectancy. Life expectancy remained relatively steady throughout history until chemistry came on board. Medicines, materials, understanding of a variety of things that the chemistry has been able to contribute to, life expectancy has gone up. Okay? Other sciences have played a role too, don't get me wrong, all right? But chemistry is the central science, right? So, how will this be achieved in this course? There will be reading assignments along the way that come from the common literature. You've already seen some stuff from Chemical and Engineering News. That's our trade magazine. You do not have to purchase that. I will provide those materials for you to read, okay? But those materials are going to be there. I'm going to pick out historical pieces where I believe, personally, that chemistry has made a great contribution to society, and we'll talk about those. So I want you to have an understanding of that. So you're going to understand the impact of the chemical sciences on modern society. I also want you to have a good functional knowledge of the scientific method. You all probably think you know what the scientific method is, but we're gonna test that. We're gonna look at what the scientific method is, and we're gonna talk about why I think it's the best baloney detector ever developed. Okay, it's easy to fool yourselves in knowing something. It is very difficult to truly know something, but the scientific method helps us avoid those pitfalls and helps us identify areas of things that we really know and things that maybe we don't know as well as we thought we did. And so I think it's a very powerful thing. You're going to understand how learning strategies can be utilized to master the course. Notice I've got an asterisk there. You all are in this course and not having to take UNV 100 because we're counting this as your first year experience course. If you're also in UNV 100, you can get out of UNV 100 and just take this course. okay? So I checked a while back, I don't think anybody else is enrolled in UNV 100, but this, anytime you see an asterisk like this in these things, this is also something that would have been covered in UNV 100. So how will this be achieved in this course? We are going to talk about things like metacognition. What does that mean? Thinking deep? Yeah, it's thinking about thinking, which is kind of strange for a lot of people to think about. Notice how I'm using the word think a lot here, right? But we're going to learn how to think, and that is very, very important. You're in a major where if you try to stuff all the facts in your head, you won't be very successful, right? There's only really about 3 or 4 fundamental principles in chemistry that you have to master, and everything else will derive from that. And I promise you, when you get to be a senior in this major and you get ready to graduate, you'll walk across the stage to get your diploma and you'll look at me and you'll go, you were right. Because there really is only about 3 or 4 major principles in chemistry that you absolutely have to master to be good at this. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. You're going to understand the scope of the career options available to you. We're going to have career services come and talk to you. We're going to have people from ACS come and talk to you. We're going to have faculty come and talk to you. I'll talk to you about my career. My career is pretty much a professor career, right? But there are many other careers that you can get into. I will also share with you discussions with former Golden Eagles that I have recorded over the years and give you an opportunity to see what they did. And so the former students of mine. So you'll be able to watch those types of videos throughout this course as well. You're going to learn how to utilize university resources to enhance your success. One of the biggest problems that I see for many students is that they don't utilize the resources. You are paying tuition for all of these resources to be at your disposal. You will not have enough time to use all of them, but you need to know that they are there for you and will help you figure out how to navigate all that as well. So we'll talk about a variety of resources throughout the semester and make those available to you. You're going to demonstrate the application of real-world life skills. That's another asterisk one. That's going to be some stuff that you would have also gotten in UNV 100. So how are we going to achieve that in this course? This course, the skill that I want you to leave with is not to be afraid how to interact with people, right? You're going to have to come and meet me in my office. And for a lot of students, that's kind of nerve-wracking, right? I know that's why a lot of students, so what am I going to do? I'm going to make you come and talk to me, right? And being present is one of those things about a real-world life skill that is so important. And so attendance is a big part of this course. So you got to be here to do well. So hopefully you'll grab onto that. You're going to develop somewhat effective written and verbal communication skills. We're not going to spend a ton of time on that one, but we are going to spend a little bit of time. You're going to have notebook reflections and things that you have to do in Canvas, so that'll help get your effective writing and how to communicate. Those types of skills will be developed a little bit during this course. Okay. So again, more stuff on the syllabus. There are 4 things that you're going to produce in this class. You're going to develop a curriculum vitae and a resume, and/or a resume. How many people already have a resume? A good chunk of you, right? We're going to talk about what it means to have a professional resume, and they are different. Okay, you're in a field where professionalism counts. Okay, and so we're going to talk about how you might want to construct your resume today, and that resume will actually grow into a curriculum vitae. You'll learn what a curriculum vitae is and how it's different than a resume. You're going to develop an individualized semester by semester guide. You're going to go through all of the courses for your specific major, and you're going to lay them out for all 8 semesters that you intend to be in school, or whatever the number of semesters is. Some of you may have transferred in some hours. Okay? But you're going to build that on your own by thinking about what you're going to be doing during the semester other than just doing your coursework. Okay? It's not just I got to take these classes that semester. It's more metacognition, thinking about what's going on there. You're going to develop some personalized learning strategies. I'm going to walk you through ways in which you can learn better. We started off with an assignment that's due today, right? The study tips. That is an essay that was written well over 20 years ago now, and I wish I had been smart enough to figure out how to write that. But I can only imagine that that essay was written after Professor Libirko had graded some student work and he was frustrated with the results. And he said, I'm going to tell the students what they need to do to be successful in this. And then we're going to talk a little bit about professional web presence. This is this thing I did not have to worry about when I was your age. There was an internet, but it was very limited. It was dial-up. There was no Facebook or TikTok or any of that stuff. The stuff you're putting on your web right now will be used against you. I'm just going to be blunt about it. If it's out there, it is fair game for people to access. You have given it to the world to look at. Okay? That does not mean I'm not saying you can't post things about part. I want you to start thinking about how you're presenting yourself professionally. I can guarantee you, when you apply for medical school, dental school, graduate school, law school, a job, somebody's going to go, I'm going to type that name in and I'm going to see what comes up. You want to make sure that it's something that's going to represent you 4 or 5 years from now. Okay? So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring some people in to talk about how you can go in and maybe clean up some of your web presence. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of everything, right? Certainly you have freedom of speech. You can do whatever you want, but there's also consequences, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So these are the 4 things that you're going to leave with out of here. And then you'll notice that I say this is something you can look up, but hope is not a plan. I hope a lot of things. I have never hoped something into reality. I have planned and gotten results. So you all right now have hopes and dreams, and those are all great, and they all feel good, but now we have to develop those into a plan so that you can achieve them. Okay? That's another piece of this class. I want you to convert your hopes and your dreams into a reality. And the only way to get there is through a plan. Okay? And it's going to start with this individualized semester by semester guide. It's also going to tie into some of these other pieces. Okay? I'm not trying to dash hope. Hope is a great thing, but I want you to develop it into something that can actually be materialized for you. Okay? All right. What you all are interested in. Grading. Like I said, this is not a class that is designed, you're not going to be getting a lot of hard chemistry or math or physics, stuff that you have to, demonstrate in this particular class. This class is set up for participation. You participate, you'll do well. Okay? You don't participate, you will fail. Pretty much so that way. I have people that get A's and B's, and I have people that get F's. I don't have much in between. What does it take to get an F? You missed a lot of this. You didn't do any of that. All of a sudden, mathematically, you're just at that point. Okay? So, do the work. Take it for what it means, for why it's given. Take it seriously. Don't cheat. Don't cheat in this class. There's no reason to cheat in this class. Okay? And we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So, attendance, 280 points. We're going to meet 15 times. I'm only counting 14 of them. So if you have to miss, it's fine. All right, you get one freebie. Notebook reflections, you're going to have 15 of those. That's going to be 200 points of your. You're going to have that CV resume assignment, 100 points. Your semester by semester guide is going to be 100 points. Your activities participation is going to be 100 points. 50 points per activity. There's 2 activities. The study tips assignment, which is due at 5 o'clock today, you get 25 points for doing that one. That's in Canvas already. Your learning strategies assignment that I'll give you will be worth 50 points, and then coming to meet with me one-on-one is going to be 25 points. You get a total of 880 points. And so it's just how many points do you have divided by 880? That's your grade. Yes?
So there are no exams, right?
There are no exams in this class. There are no exams. Yes?
What exactly are we doing?
You're going to meet with me. We're going to have a personal one-on-one where we just get to know one another.
Okay.
We're going to learn what you want out of life, what you want out of this major. We're going to have a conversation. We're going to get to know one another.
And it could just be any time scheduled.
It can be any time between now and I think I set that for some time in early November.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will be gone 2 weeks in November. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to handle that. I'm going to try to dial in. I'm going to be in Germany for 2 weeks. On a fellowship. So, but we will still have class. I will still have stuff for you to do. I will still try my best to be here, but trying to figure out the whole 8-hour difference and if I'm going to actually be able to log in at 2 a.m. to talk to you all. But I'm going to try. We'll see if I can still do it. Okay. Are there any questions about the grading? Take-home messages here, do the work, right? Be authentic with your work. That's all I'm after, right? You and I do not have to agree on everything, all right? I want your authentic self. That's what I want out of all the work that you do. I want your best, all right? In the syllabus, a couple of things to note. All required reading or viewing materials in the various Canvas modules will be uploaded or updated by 5 p.m. on Monday before each class meeting. So I think I sent something out to you all telling you that it was all up. I think it was Sunday or Monday I sent it out, right? That all the materials were there. I'm not going to send you a reminder every week. Just know that by 5 p.m. on Monday, whatever I've got in the Canvas module for the upcoming week, that's what it's going to be. Okay, unless I send out something like I got sick or whatever and I'm late, but that doesn't happen very often, okay? I need you to come prepared, having read and watched all the assigned videos. We're not going to devote a whole lot of class time to reading, or we're going to be in here discussing these things. What do these things mean to you? What are you getting out of this kind of work? Okay? And so everything is listed in the syllabus. So today, obviously, right, the study tips assignment was due. This is the first day of class. You saw that August 20th module. Next week on the 27th, a week from now, we're going to be doing our learning strategies. We're going to talk about learning strategies, how to learn in a chemistry class, in a math class, in a physics class. Learning, I hate to say it, but what you all learned in high school about learning isn't really learning. Not deeply, right? It's, yes, you're learning some stuff, but it's not the same level as what is expected in college, okay? And we're going to learn about that difference, and we're going to learn about how we can identify ways to maximize your learning, okay? You all are taking a lot of classes. Many of you have jobs outside of this. Many of you have other obligations. You need to have effective and efficient strategies to learn the most that you can learn in the time that you're given. It doesn't matter how much money you have, what you were born into, etc. We all have only 24 hours in a day. Time is the great equalizer, all right? And we just need to learn how to effectively and efficiently use that. Okay. I list some holidays as well. Obviously, we wouldn't have met on September the 1st anyway, but we will meet on the 3rd, 2 days after Labor Day. And that's when we're going to talk about understanding the curriculum. I'm going to go through the curriculum with you. I'm going to tell you about the making your own semester by semester guide assignment. And then you all will have a week to build your own personalized semester by semester guide. That will be a product that you take with you when you go to your next advising meeting, and I think those open up in October, when you'll go and talk to your advisor about the spring, scheduling your spring classes. You'll go and you will show that to them, and you will say, this is what I've come up with, let's talk about it. And they will look at it and they will give you some suggestions. It's a living document and it is meant to change. You may run into a semester where you've said, I'm going to take these 15 hours. And then you run into a semester where something happens and it's like, oh, I can only take 12. All of a sudden, the whole document has to change. But it's yours to change, okay? And it is going to be your roadmap to success, okay? The notebook. I used to actually require students to have a notebook. Then COVID happened, and nobody wanted to pass around notebooks. So we do all this in Canvas, okay? So these are Canvas reflections really now, okay? So what do you think the purpose is of me having to keep a notebook is? If you forget something, right? Yeah, we write things down to avoid forgetting. Yeah, what else?
To have well, originally I guess it would be like a physical reminder, but now I guess it would be more of a
more electronic now, but yeah.
Electronic reminder
Okay.
of what you're doing.
Okay. Anything else? Am I just going to give you this and just say go write? I'm going to prompt you about some things. I want you to start thinking about some things. Okay. These notebook reflections will be available after class. In fact, I think the one that it will be due on Friday is already, well, the prompt will come available to you on, I think, at 4 o'clock. And I give you a couple days to work on it. All right? So I do not expect these things to be masterpieces, but don't submit junk. Okay? I will ask you to give me an affirming statement that you did not use AI. I want this to be your authentic self. Does that mean you cannot use AI in this class? Of course not. It's a tool. You can use it. But I don't want to read ChatGPT or Claude's ideas. I want your ideas. And if you need to use ChatGPT or Claude to help with sentence structure or spelling check, fine and dandy. I use it too, right? But I want to know that if I come up to you at lunch and I say, hey, I read your reflection. That's so cool that you're interested in, and you look at me blank like, am I really interested in that? I'll know, right? And you didn't, all you're doing is cheating yourself, right? So self-reflection is a very, very important piece of the learning process. I want you to get used to it. You are going to be in classes where you're going to be tempted to go into class and leave and flush. Go back on Wednesday, go to class, leave and flush. But what you need to be in all of your classes is when you leave, think about what it was that you were just learning. Take some time to write about that. How does that fit into your plan? Make your learning personal. When you make the learning about yourself, you're much more likely to be engaged in the learning. And it has personal meaning for you, right? If I tell you that you're going to do a lot of hard work, are you excited about that? What if I tell you you're going to do a lot of hard work about something that excites you, though?
Some money.
Yeah. You will work, people work hard all the time at things that they like to do, right? This kind of thing helps you make it personal. And when it's personal, your learning becomes personal, it becomes more important to you. You're willing to put in the time, the effort, and the hard work. You are not here to impress me. You're here to impress yourself. You're here to build yourself up. You're here to, create your own career. So keep all of that in mind. That's the whole purpose of these notebooks. And I will give you a rationale for why I'm asking you to write about X. Okay? And I want these reflections to be approximately a quarter of a page. Approximately. I am not going to cut and paste and put it in Word and goes out exactly a quarter of a page. But it's very, very important that you all understand these reflections are not yes/no questions. These are not two-sentence questions. Okay? These are good paragraph questions. What constitutes a good paragraph? It's not one sentence. It's rarely two, right? It's usually 4 or 5 sentences, well composed, well thought out. That's what I'm looking for, okay? So you're going to have one of those every week, okay? So the rules, what's going to impact your grade? I'm going to give you a prompt. I'm going to give you something to write about, right? You're going to have one of these every week. I want you to write clearly. Your grade depends. If it's just slapped together, I will take points off. I can tell. If it rambles, I will take points off. It's got to be clear, okay? Make sure that you've given it careful thought and consideration, right? Think critically about your response. These critical responses, like I said earlier, are never yes, no answers. If I ask you to write about something, you go, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Okay, that's a good first part of a sentence. Now finish it out, right? Tell me why that is it, right? So, approximately a quarter of a typewritten page in a word processor. I would highly recommend that you get your whatever favorite word processor you are. I would do it there first and then cut and paste that into Canvas. Use it to check your spelling. Use it to check your sentence structure. All of those things. Those are tools that you should definitely use, okay? Think of this as professional writing. It's developing that. The other reason I have you all keep notebooks is that's what scientists do. We keep notes about everything. You do an experiment in lab, you're going to take notes. You do an experiment in an actual research lab, you're going to take notes. You get a job. I had a job when I was in college. I paid my way through college. I was a laboratory assistant in an environmental sciences laboratory, a commercial lab. We took notes about everything. I picked up the bottle. I took the bottle out of the refrigerator. I mean, you had to document everything that you were doing. It is essential because in this field, questions arise, things happen unexpectedly, lawsuits happen, right? You said that we were in compliance, and we're not in compliance. What did you do in your analysis that you have to show? This is what we did, right? So keeping a notebook, it's a very, very essential piece of our profession. And so kind of getting you started in that. Many of the labs that you're going to be in as freshmen are going to be kind of, here's a page and fill out the data sheet. That's not real world. That is not real world at all. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
For this class, even though we're not doing like the notebook reflection, should we still get a notebook for notes?
I would recommend that you have whatever it is that makes you comfortable, that you have something that you can reflect in, a diary, a physical notebook, a Word document, whatever is good for you, and you think metacognitively about the things that you are doing. I think that is a skill that you can utilize to advance your career and your goals. I do it. I don't have a physical notebook anymore. I used to. I would have my ideas book, and I would keep it with me. And when I'd come up with an idea, I would write it down. Maybe this is worth looking at. 95% of the time, they were junk ideas. They were. But some of those ideas ended up getting me my career here, got me my first grants, which was money that paid me in the summer and paid my research expenses, and I had some good ones too. You're going to have some stuff that's junk. You're going to have some stuff that's great, right? But if you never write it down, you'll probably forget it. And that I can guarantee. All right. So we're going to finish up here in just a minute. I know you've got to leave in just a second. So I've given everybody a note card. This is how I take attendance. On your note card, on the front of it, print your name and your ID number. And then on the back of that, before you leave, you're going to write a sentence or two about something you would like for me to know about yourself. It could be anything. Just something that you think I ought to know about yourself. Okay? I'll give you just a couple of minutes to do that because he's got to leave. And then we'll finish talking about the other materials. And I know you've got to get to band, right? Yeah, so I will post this in the Canvas shell for today's module. Once I get it published to YouTube, I will post a link to that YouTube video. You can go back and watch what we've missed. Okay? Or what you missed. You can go ahead and go if you need to. Okay. All right, let's continue on. So, what was the take home from the study tips for chemistry reading assignment? What did you all take from it?
For me, I definitely took being more patient with doing work instead of trying to even if you're doing it 3 days before it's due, don't try to do it all at one time, or else you're not really focusing on one problem. You're just kind of trying to focus on everything.
Be honest with yourself. I'm not asking for a show of hands. I'm not asking anybody to call themselves out, but I will raise my hand here. I did cram before the exam when I was in high school. I was among the smartest kids in the class. I could do it. I got into college, not so much. It's deeper material, it's less time, there's no time in class to do the studying, the reading. You've got to be disciplined. Okay, so yes, definitely, those types of things are there. What else? What other things did anybody take from the?
To think less of your assignments as, oh, I'm just doing this for a grade. Think more of it on that deeper level of, oh, I can use this in my courses coming up, or I can use this and apply it to my life.
That's exactly right. So, some of you are in the band. Some of you have done athletics. How many of you just showed up for the game or for the concert without having practice? Why were you willing to put so much time into that? Because you enjoyed it, right? You enjoyed it. You've chosen this major for a reason. Enjoy it. I'm not saying that you will never be frustrated. Of course you're going to be frustrated. You're frustrated when you're practicing for your game or for your concert or whatever the case may be, right? But you enjoy it, right? Enjoy your time here. It will go faster than you think. What else did y'all take from the study tips?
I took that you can never be too prepared. There's always a different angle, a different resource, or somebody that knows it in a better or a different way.
Okay, very good. What else?
The reading was talking about like seeing exams and stuff as a challenge instead of almost like a roadblock or something to like be afraid of, but to properly prepare yourself to like, be ready for it.
Okay. I had a student one time, I will not share names. He was not a chemistry student, but he was in my organic class. So, I think he was a polymer science major. And he took the first exam, and I handed the exam back the next day. He immediately wadded it up, threw it in the trash, and walked out of my class. What do you think was going through his mind? He did fail.
Ain't no way I failed. That's probably what he was doing.
He was probably ticked at me, wasn't he? Yeah. I didn't answer the question, right? I just asked him, right? But he was probably mad at me. I could have taken that as an opportunity to go, well, that's one less student I got to worry about. But instead I reached out to him and I said, you need to come to my office. That attitude isn't good enough, right? We sat down and we had a conversation. He said, I never performed that bad on the exam. I said, I understand that. And we had a conversation. Turns out he took to heart what I shared with him. He actually did some of the learning strategies and things that we're going to be covering in this class, and he improved, and he actually did quite well in my class and got a very good grade. Okay? But yeah, that's fine. Thank you. The point is that you're going to get an exam or an assignment, and you're going to look at it at some point, and you're going to be frustrated. Do not be like him and go. Instead, think of it as a learning opportunity. How can I learn from what I just did? This happens to me all the time. I'm a researcher, right? I write grants to the federal government. My success rate is less than 25%. What does that mean? That means if I was on a grading scale, you would give me an F. Right? 25% is an F. We all agree with that? It ain't in real life. People are very proud and brag about my success rate because we do things that are hard. And when you do things that are hard and difficult and challenging, you're not going to be 95% all the time. Okay? And that's okay. So what do I do when I get that proposal that's been rejected? Or that paper that got rejected? I get mad. I do. That's a human nature. You're going to get mad. Get mad. Get it out of your system. But don't forget about it. So I get mad. I go home, I yell, scream, whatever, have a beer. And then I come back the next day and I really start going through it. What is it that they're trying to tell me? What didn't I do? How can I make it better? My success rate on the next submission is actually quite high. Learn from that, right? It's easy to get angry and give up. Don't give up, okay? What else did y'all get from the study tips?
thought that there were like a lot more ways to study than I really realized. Like I kind of stick to the same methods, but some of the study tips, I was like, wait, I kind of do this without even knowing I do it. So.
Yeah. And one of the things that you also need to know is that not every class is equal. A 3-hour chemistry class or a 3-hour math class or a 3-hour physics class is not the same as a 3-hour X class. I'm not going to poke on it here. But it's just true. And it doesn't mean that the class is any less valid or any less, but there are some things that you may be more advanced in. When you walk in, you're like, this class is a breeze. But not maybe for another student, right? And so your study habits and skills and things that you have to devote are going to be different depending on classes. We're going to learn a little bit about that. There are going to be some classes you're like, I've got to devote a lot of time to that, and this class I just got to do X, Y, and Z, right? We're going to learn a little bit about that as well. What was the take-home message from the growth mindset video? Had anybody ever heard of the term growth mindset before? You've heard about it? Okay. Are we born with a mindset?
Yeah.
You think so?
I'd say so.
You'd say so? Why would you say so?
I feel like our parents imprint on us at a very young
He said
age.
born with though. Born with. So like if you're a 1-year-old baby, what mindset do you have?
Your parents.
No. My baby wanted milk.
Yeah.
It's instilled upon
This is the kind of stuff I like to see. Yeah.
What if like survival instinct, would that kind of be a mindset of I need to eat, I need to do this, and this is how I live?
I think that's a biological
It's more like a
response.
reflex.
That's an instinct. A mindset is like how you like more like think. An instinct is something that's just like you
Naturally
have to
Inherent.
have. Like I don't have to have the.
That's a good
mindset.
question, though.
I've always had like the thought that like everybody is born with like the same mindset like as a baby, and then what he said, like as you get older you learn different things from your parents.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I'm certainly not a professional psychologist. I'm not pretending to be, right? So, but I am a proponent of mindset. And I would recommend that you all read as many books as you possibly can on mindset throughout your career. Carol Dweck, if you want to watch any videos, she's from Stanford. Her mindset videos are actually quite good. She's a professional psychologist. I tend to believe that we are born with a blank slate. I do think that parents do imprint upon us. I think that's well established. But what I think is so cool about the mindset theory is that it's malleable. We can change it. I think naturally it's easiest to probably be in the fixed mindset. Well, I'm not any good at that. Not good at that. Not good at math. I'm not good at that. I can't run very far. Right? But I can change it. I can change my mindset and I can change my abilities. You have to remember, it's about growth, your own personal growth, right? Don't compare yourself to the Joneses all the time. There is nothing that makes us feel worse than comparing ourselves to our neighbors. My neighbor drove in the other day with a new $80,000 vehicle and I went, glad I don't have to pay for that, right? So don't ever compare yourself to the Joneses, right? That's the easiest way to get into a fixed mindset, is thinking that you got to be better than everybody else. What you got to be better tomorrow is from where you were today, right? And so that's the growth mindset. View failure as an opportunity to grow. And I know that's hard to buy into. And it's so easy because you sit there and you look at the syllabus and you go, I've only got 880 points. And if I miss that, at some point it becomes mathematically impossible, right? It's a true statement. But you can still learn from failure, right? I learn from it all the time. I'm in the science. We learn by failure. That's what it's called, experimenting. We learn just as much from our failures as we do our successes, maybe more so. I want each and every one of you to understand that everybody has both mindsets in their head. It's a choice about which mindset we tend to adapt to, okay? If you find yourself going into that mindset that's more fixed, try to find a way to get yourself out of that. I'm here to help you with that. Come talk to me, okay? Always keep that in mind, okay? Growth mindset, much better place to be, I think. What about the take-home message from chapter 1 of, will this be on the test? Yeah.
But this is not high school, and college does get very different because, like, in high school, people were always making sure that we're actually like where we're supposed to be.
Yep.
But at college, like, there's not very many people who actually like care.
Yep. Well, I
like,
wouldn't go
there's-
that
there's just scenario, but, like, nobody's checking in on your grades
Right.
unless you are. Like,
We care differently.
Mm.
We care differently. You are here by choice. So we take, as professors, we take the attitude of, you want this? I can't want this more than you. In high school, it was, you're legally obligated to be here. Right, and so that's very different. Very different from us as a faculty member. What else? You all come here thinking that my job is to teach you. And that's a reasonable assumption for you all to make. You all pay tuition, you enrolled in my class, and you're here, and I'm here. Very little of my job is actually to teach you. Very little of my job, and most professors' job, is to teach any student. In chemistry, the professor's annual job evaluation is 50% is research productivity. How many papers did I publish? How many grants did I get? Only 35% of our time is supposed to be devoted to teaching. Now, you all should expect that when I'm in here teaching you, that you all have my full attention. That's a perfectly reasonable expectation. Okay, but that's different. In high school, that your teacher's job was exclusively to teach, right? We're in a different dynamic. And so I just want you to all be aware of that faculty have different expectations of them by the institution, by the state of Mississippi, than does your high school teacher, okay? But I want you to know that we are here to help take care of any of your needs too, okay? It's just not my whole job. So, if you need to see me and my door is open, I want you to walk in and say hello, and we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation. But you also got to understand that the president of the university can call me up in my position and say, I got to see you like yesterday. I want to get up, I want to go see the president, right? That's what I want to do. I've got certain things. I've got a report that's due in September. That's my top priority right now. So the easiest way to get in touch with me then, right, is to make an appointment. Make an appointment. That's the kind of the professional way to do it, right? You make an appointment, you come and see, and you'll have my attention. I can guarantee you it's the same way for all faculty. Okay, but you have to make an effort to reach out to those faculty. In high school, your teacher made an effort to reach you. Most of your faculty will leave their class and go to their office and start thinking about research or think about the committee work that they're on or why that experiment didn't work, right? And they won't think about the class until next week or next session, right? It's a very different situation. So, I think that's really what chapter 1 was all about, was to set that tone of there is a difference. And it's not a tiny difference. There really should be a grade 12, a 13, and then college. And there's just not. There's a big gap between being in high school where every class is structured, you eat at that time, you eat at that time, and you can get out of class at that time, to, I'm not going to call you if you don't show up to class. Right? I might, but some faculty probably won't, right? It's a little different. They won't call your mom and dad, I can guarantee you that. Right? So, a little different. Any questions for me about the class? Yes?
I have a question, but it's not related specifically to this class.
Ask away.
How old is that?
How old is that? Periodic table? I've been here 21 years, and it's been in that same place at least that long.
I can see.
And it was old men. So I don't know.
It says 1987.
It says 19, yeah, it does, yeah. It says copyright 1987.
Because Ununhexium is still named Ununhexium, and that's the latest one they have. So I assume it's very old.
It is very old. It is very old. Any questions, comments, or concerns? All right. When you walk out of the class, there will be, the first notebook reflection will be available for you all. I will post the YouTube video, the recording of this lecture in this Canvas shell. I'll send you an email showing you where to find that. On your way out, please leave your note cards, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.